Hi, my name is Nick. I'm a student right now in Minnesota. Yeah. What is your diagnosis? When did you learn about it? I actually don't know the scientific name. I think Major Depressive Disorder, right? I learned it the summer after freshman year. Right. How did you react to being diagnosed? It felt good to be able to say, like, this is, identify a problem. And also, honestly, I don't know if this is the right way to think about it, if this is like a helpful way to think about it, but it's nice to be able to say, like, this is coming from somewhere, and to be able to, and it kind of gives you an excuse in a way, like I have depression. That is why I am incapable of getting out of bed. That is why I am having breakdowns and things that I know fundamentally in my heart, like, just do not matter. So that's nice. How has it affected your relationships? I think, I would say that for several years, very negatively, just because the smallest things, or really even nothing between, like, my friends that my friends did, would just send me into a spiral, and I would just feel just, like, so unbelievably awful about minor, I don't even want to say minor, because it fundamentally was not, it's not rational. It has nothing to do with rationality. It has nothing to do with rationality. It's just, it's your brain. And so it was very negative. But then at a certain point, I think that it actually became a positive once I started to really try to grapple with it, because it made it so that I had to know myself better, and I had to understand my relationships better, and I had to understand myself and how other people were feeling better, in order to be able to, like, effectively cope with, like, the way it was making me act. And so, like, ultimately I think it led to, like, a greater level of, like, self-knowledge. Is dating harder for you because of it? Why? Yes, definitely. Not because of any sort of, like, sadness, I guess, but really more because I think of the apathy that depression causes you. If I'm getting into something with someone and it hits a snag, I'm like, why fucking bother? Like, it is so much easier to just ghost them, stop talking, go lie down, sleep for 6 hours, forget about them, How are you being treated professionally, self-medication, so on? I was on Prozac for a long time. I'm currently off Prozac. I plan to get back on, because I always do the thing, I'm like, I don't need it anymore. I do. I definitely do need it. I binge drank really hard in high school. Like when I was at parties, I would get way too fucking drunk. And then I stopped doing that because it was really bad. And now I don't do that anymore. So I think I do probably self-medicate in the sense that I smoke too much weed that's not good either. But I think that's so much less harmful than binge drinking, so I'm more okay with it. But I should do it less. What would you tell someone else in your position? I think, and this is, it's this really weird thing where the trite way to approach depression, the incorrect way to approach depression, is to say, just be happy, just get over it, just pull yourself up, like, there's always another day. That's bullshit. We know that's bullshit. But in my experience, the only way that you get better is by looking at your depression, looking at yourself, respecting it and understanding it as a real problem, and then working really hard. You don't get over it until and you never get over it. It doesn't go away, it doesn't disappear, but you learn to live with it, and you become strong enough to, like, be your full self only by actively working every single day to affirm to yourself that the things that your brain is telling you are not true. So, all right, what is the most offensive thing someone has said to you about your illness? I think people find, and I don't talk about self-harm that much, not because I really have a problem with it, like with speaking about it, but just because I think other people do. That is the thing that is stigmatized. That is the thing that is stigmatized. Self-harm is not understood. It is not comprehended. And I think that people think it's either really funny or really terrifying, and they're not capable of speaking about it. So people say some fucking dumb shit about cutting, especially. It's just not understood. It's just not understood even remotely. And it should be understood as a symptom like anything else, because that's what it is. It's a way that your mental illness manifests itself, and it's a coping mechanism. And so, I don't know, people just, I can't think of a specific thing, but when people make jokes about self-harm, it doesn't hurt me, but it makes me angry. And I think that the way that it's affected my life is, in some ways, I would almost say positive, in most ways negative, of course. I think that the positive ways that's affected my life is that it's forced me to be much more sort of like aware of myself and aware of others, and I think it's made me a kinder person, because I'm aware of like sort of the way that you struggle, you know, the way that your mind can play tricks on you, just sort of the idiotic things that you can say to yourself in your head that are so destructive and harmful and hurtful. But it doesn't matter that it's not based on rationality. It's how people are feeling, and so I think it's made me a more empathetic person. But I think that the negative ways it's affected my life at this point is that I just don't do as much as I'd like to. You know, because sometimes you just can't fucking do it. Like, I want to go to this event. I want to participate in this. I want to help with this thing. I can't do it. I have to stay in bed. I'm fucking tired, you know, because, and that stems ultimately from the depression. How has it affected your day-to-day? Yeah, I think that, you know, what I was saying just about the inability a lot of the time to participate in things that I want to do, because the anxiety that it causes me, the dread it causes me, but even more than that, just the exhaustion that everyday activities can cause you when you have depression. It saps you, it drains you, because like I've had to fight against myself to even do the day-to-day shit, you know, because all I want to do is lie in bed. All I want to do is maybe die sometimes, you know, and so the way that it affects my day-to-day life is that sometimes I just can't do the shit that like I really want to do that's really important to me, and that obviously just makes it feel worse. You know, that's what it is. Have you ever had suicidal ideations? Yes, all the time. Yeah, I don't know. It's comforting. It's very comforting. Because I think what it is it's a way of pretending, of imagining a world where you're not feeling the way you're feeling, you know, in the most direct way possible, by no longer being alive. And so you just sit there, and I still do it sometimes, you know. It's like a daydream. It's like a pleasant daydream. Like, I'm gonna go down to the train tracks, and I'm gonna wait for the 7:15, you know. Or, you know, you think of all the different ways that you can do it, and it's a way of distracting yourself. Yeah. Have you ever attempted suicide? I have not. Thought about it a lot, got close sometimes, but never did it. Thankfully, I think if we had a firearm in the house, probably would have, because that's so easy. You know, that's so easy. Yeah. What do you wish you could tell your younger self? I wish I could tell my younger self, I mean, first of all, it gets better, right? It does get better. But also just that it gets better when you stop wallowing and you start fucking working. And you start doing everything you possibly can to not be in the situation you're in, because it's so fucking easy, and it's honestly kind of fun to be miserable all the time. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, you just hate yourself, and you hate everything. You're just like, and everything hurts all the time. You just want to die so bad. And it's a very seductive feeling, but it's so fucking shitty, and it's not. And the real fun is living, and is living in the world and doing things that make you happy. That's significantly better, but you only get there when you really work on yourself and you force yourself, you know, to look at the thoughts you're having and take the actions that you're doing that are self-destructive and give them the space they need to exist, because you can't just like pretend they don't exist, but you respect them, and then you say, you need to step aside because I'm living my life.